Oh, my name is Captain Rez. As I sail, as I sail. Oh, my name is Captain Rez. As I sail. Welcome, my friends. Welcome once again to the Gaming Galleon. It's so good to see you. Another hour of adventure is upon us. We're sitting here at the brink of it. Does it get any better than this? It certainly feels a lot better than when we're toward the end and it's winding down and we have to go back to our humdrum, real world lives. Who wants any of that? This is what it's all about, my friends. We stand at the precipice of adventure, imagination, mystery, and by God, booty. I'm Captain Raz, and we are in a very exotic location this week. We're all the way out on the other side of the planet, in Rome, Italy. Rome, Italy, my friends, we have so much going on. We have a lot to celebrate. It's the Ides of March, if you were not aware. Aside from Shakespeare, what else can you, and Caesar, what else do you associate with the Ides of March? Not much, but I thought it would be the perfect opportunity for us to get out to Rome and explore a little bit, and let me tell you, the crew has been loving it. We've been walking the streets of Rome the past few hours before we had to come back in. I mean, they're still out there, gaggling about. The boat is docked, but obviously I had to come back and say hi to you guys and adventure with you guys. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're playing one awesome game, a game that would take place in no other place other than Rome. It's a little-known game for the original Xbox. The dark horse of video gaming, if you will. Called Circus Maximus. Circus Maximus, now this was being sold for $4.98 at one point. I guarantee you're going to find it for less these days. This is a game that nobody wanted. Nobody cared about. And it's a downright shame. And you'll be seeing why very soon. We're also obviously going to get into the booty segment. Lots of stuff going on in here. You can argue, I don't know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Is basically what's going on in the booty segment today. We'll get into that at the bottom of the hour. And then, of course, after a little more fun with Circus Maximus, we'll come back at the end of the hour and address your questions, concerns, queries, and whatnots in the bag that tells no tales. Yes, this is the opportunity for you to steer the ship and ask me a question or make a comment about anything under the sun. All right, so we have a lot going on. When the Ides of March was rolling around, I always wanted to do a show about it. Why? Well, I really enjoy, events, and there's really not much to the Ides of March. It's about as, ambiguous of a holiday as, say, Cinco de Mayo. I mean, what is Cinco de Mayo? To, a stupid pirate like myself, I think it's an excuse to drink tequila. That's it. The Ides of March is even less. What do you do on the Ides of March? Do you celebrate it? I mean, it's basically, it's known for one thing, and it's the assassination of Caesar. And Shakespeare basically, this is the closest thing Shakespeare ever got to like an Oliver Stone film was doing, Caesar. What was that play called? Is it called Caesar? Ugh, that's what I get for not checking. But anyway, the Ides of March are otherwise known as March 15th, the middle of the month. And that's actually what it is for each month. The Ides of a month stands for the middle of the month. So it depends on what month you're in. That's dependent on what day it'll be. Sometimes it'll be the 13th. Sometimes it'll be the 15th. And that's where that comes from. Fascinating, if you ask me. But mainly we use this as an excuse to get to Rome. We docked ship. We've been looking around the Roman ruins, and it has been fantastic. But of course, being who I am, a pirate who, what can I say, enjoys the simple things in life. I was most excited about getting some authentic Italian food. So that's what we did right before the show. I'm still digesting. We all piled into this little hole in the wall, authentic Italian place. It was right next to the Coliseum. Who knows how long it had been there, but let me tell you, it was great. It's a little place called Fazoli's. Have you heard of it? Me neither. But it was great. No, I'm just kidding. I know what Fazoli's are. If you don't, though, let me tell you, it's the greatest lunch you can think of. You walk into this place. There's booths, or there's tables, depending on how many people you got. And you can order this thing called the Pick 2. Okay? And it's like a list of 8 different entrees. There's fettuccine Alfredo. There's spaghetti with meat sauce, which is what I usually get. There's lasagna, also what I usually get. I usually get those two. There's like a slice of pizza. I don't know who would get that. I think there's a side salad too. I guess that's for the suckers. And then a few others. I think like ravioli, whatever. And so you pick 2 entrees, and it comes with a drink. It's $5, although we, us being in Rome, we had to pay with euro. So for us, it came out to about 50 cents more than what it would be in the States. You sit down, commiserate. The food's brought to the table for you. I mean, this is, AAA service here for €5. How can you say no? You're eating, you're drinking, drinks are on tap. You can go up and get as much as you want. And then the best part is nobody leaves this place empty because they keep bringing out, I swear to you, garlic and butter-soaked breadsticks in a little basket. It's very classy. They have little tongs. They take it out. Would you like some, sir? How many would you like? And they put them on a table for you. And, I mean, we were ravenous. We were singing songs and just eating like mad dogs. And, you even get to walk out. You get €5, and you even get to walk out with a drink. How about that, huh? That's Italian right there. That's what I'm talking about. One more. But, okay, on a serious note, when you're talking authentic Italian, it's a very delicate thing for me particularly. I take the director's vision very seriously. When it comes to a movie, I don't like to talk through it. When it comes to food, I don't like to substitute. And that's especially true when you get to a very authentic place. Now, one time I was in New York City, Little Italy, with a couple friends of mine, Buddy and his wife, and then another friend of ours. And this place could not be more authentic. It had like stained glass ceilings and, wine, grapes on the vine, and like a cigar room all the way in the back. This place did not get more authentic. It looked like, the set of a Ford Coppola movie. And so we all sit down, and I probably got something like clams and linguine. I usually go seafood if I'm going to go Italian. But my buddy, he could not be... This is like the most white bread guy in the world. I love him, but he loves his comfort zone, and he's going to stay there. And so we're all ordering our food, and he has the gall to say, I'd like the lasagna, but could you please substitute the ricotta with mozzarella? And I was mortified. I'm looking at him like my jaw's on the floor. The lady does it, but I'm like, what? He's like, what? I'm like, you don't do that in these kind of places. So anyway, all right. Whatever you think about Italy, you're gonna think more of it after this, because this is an amazing game we're about to get started with. It's Circus Maximus, a chariot racing game. A chariot racing game. I swear to God, it exists, and you're about to see it. Let's experience it together. Get on your chaps. Is that what they wore back then? Get on your helm. grab the reins and join me in Circus Maximus for the original Xbox. And would we race anywhere else than the Coliseum? I think not. Let's get started. Oh, and a little... I played this a lot. But the race I'm about to do here, I have not played. I had to really play this a lot to get us to Rome. There's a number of different countries that you race in. But I really thought Rome was the place to celebrate this game. Obviously, the Ides of March had a big part in that as well. But I figured I would go into this one blind because I had to play so much to get to this point. So let's see how it is, how we do. It's Circus Maximus, Rome, a blind run for the original Xbox. Let's get started. All right, give me a little video here. Place your salty bets, ladies and gentlemen. You know, can Cap and Reyes sail a horse the way you can sail... Oh, where are my phones? Let me get my headphones. Because sound is a blast in this, too. All-around blast. Is he as capable of sailing a horse as he is a boat? Let's see. Welcome to Rome.
Welcome to Rome.
Again, never played this one. There's 4 guys on the field. Cool thing about this game, you get to pick every aspect of your ride. What kind of chariot?
3, 2, 1.
What make of chariot? What breed of horse? And then obviously your 2, how am I getting through this? I think through here. Oh, God. Whew, that was close. And then you've got your driver. And I don't know what the back guy is called. You know, what would we call him? The club? You remember the club? Why don't they have the club anymore? Is the club obsolete? I don't know. Anyway. In my case, I picked, I thought, you know, who better to design your ride than the Greeks? You know, I figured blending Greek ingenuity with the might of Rome would be the best bet. So we've got Matos driving. He's Greek. We've got a Greek-made chariot. Oh, God. Where am I going? Wow, this is tough. That's... That was a speed bonus. And then we've got Marcus in the back here. Oh, our horses are from Amazonia. A couple of chick horses. So don't worry, ladies. There's a little femininity on our team. Ah! And of course, Marcus in the back there with the gladius and the kite shield. Ah! Whew. That was close. And you'll notice there's, you know, nothing, no kind of HUD here, no kind of heads-up display. How fast are we going? What rank are we? What's the stamina of the horses? Well, you know, in my opinion, a video game is only fun. Okay, maybe not only fun, but is at its most fun when you're playing things by the naked eye. So, what would, you know, Marcus and Matos have in the way of a heads-up display? Nothing. They can't read the stamina of the horses. You know, they don't know the health of their opponents. And they certainly don't have some ranking system saying, you're now in 3rd place. Oh my gosh. Oh, gosh. I gotta work on that. And I'll tell you what, that's not the way to go. That's a very complicated way to go. Now, it's not a total simulator. You'll see there's There's some, oh. All right, that's what it's all about right there. Yeah, you gotta love that stuff. It's not a total simulator. There are power-ups on the board, but it's funny. I'm not even sure what most of them do. The instruction manual, they really didn't do a very good job of telling you what's what. Marcus doing a really fine job back there. Am I controlling both characters? Yes. Yes, I am, believe it or not. When Marcus leans, that's me manually leaning with the right analog stick. Whereas Matos, I'm steering with the left analog stick. There's not a button on this controller that isn't crucial. Marcus himself has about 4 or 5 different moves in combat. He's got everything from a power strike to actual blocking. You use that shield. And it's really exciting when you get... oh boy. I decided to go without the speed boost. When you get neck and neck with somebody, because it's like, there are so many variables. Are you driving so fast that your cart's about to tip? What's in front of you? And then, of course, there's, the whole time you're fighting toe-to-toe with, like a Zulu warrior. Hey, look at that! Wow, did we really win? A lot shorter than I expected. I certainly didn't expect to win either. Okay, well, let's come back. Boom! As I said, I have played this a lot. We'll come back to that in a second. All right, action-packed. We'll come back to that in a second. The way it works is we'll be able to race in Rome again, same track, but it'll have us racing in reverse next time, okay? And we'll see how we fare there. But yeah, I know my team pretty well. We've had a lot of scrapes and bruises, but we seem to be coming out on top. I really went with slow and steady wins the race. I don't have a fast ride, but I think Marcus, he's got that shield, so he can really hold his own back there and make sure Matos is able to concentrate on the road. And the horses we have are, a loyal couple of girls. All right, the booty segment. Let's see what we got here. There's better stuff. Frankly, things have been good. In the booty department, things have been good. We actually have not been hurting during a time where we could be. This is kind of tax season still. And during tax season, usually you have a hard time finding good stuff because everyone can basically pay for what they own. No one's pawning anything off. But lucky for us, we've been able to find more than what we need to, survive and, each week. So I actually had some options going into this show. And frankly, this is not the prettiest lot of what we have, but I think it was appropriate for the fact that we're playing an Xbox game today, and also that we're playing an Xbox game that really no one cares about. Hence our lot. We're basically looking at probably the bottom of the barrel when it comes to used video games. We're looking at loose, original Xbox games. I walked into a pawn shop, I don't know, sometime a few days back, and talking to, a clerk I know, and he's like, well, this is what we got. He shows me a stack of, he had like bundled 7 PlayStation 2 games, bundled up in plastic, a whole stack of these bundles. It was like 7 games for $10 or something like that. And I'm looking at them, 5 or 6 of these bundles. Nothing strike my fancy. But then he's like, oh, I got these 2. And he had loose Xbox games tied up by the spine, 10 each, with like fishing wire. I mean, it doesn't get more ghetto than this. But he was asking $5 a bundle. And I said, okay, well, let's see what we got here. So let's take a look. He had 5 of these bundles, and I picked up 4 of them. So that would have come out to about $20. Okay? Let's see what we got. See, this is hard because I you know, and okay, this is what I did. I know this lot back to front because I was very curious to see, were we going to make our money back on this or not. And we were at 20. I talked him down to 15. Okay, so it was 15 for 40 Xbox games. That's going to work out to about 37 cents a game. Okay? So that's what we're looking at here. You know all the prices. Let's just see if these titles were worth 37 cents a piece. Okay. The first group here, I grouped these into different scenarios. The first one were, I mean, because once I got these back to the ship, I had to check and make sure they all worked. Because they're not pretty. They're ugly. The backs of these are an utter mess. Okay? I mean, these are not the loose Xbox games you want to bring home to mom and dad. Okay? They're ugly. So that's why I was very curious I wanted to give you the proper information. I could just say 40 Xbox games, but that doesn't mean much if they're loose. They could all be broken. So it's very important for me to get back and check each and every one of them. So the following ones, these here, somewhere around 14 games, were all games that worked and worked backward compatibly with an Xbox 360. Okay, let's take a look. Brute Force, 4-player team-based third-person shooter. Never got a lot of love. I don't know why. It looked cool to me. The excellent Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Blitz 2003. I don't know about this one, but I'm a hell of a Blitz fan. So, you know, why not? And Xbox has 4 controllers. 4 control ports. Thrillville, one of the weirder ones here. You're basically designing an amusement park in this game. That does not interest me at all, but what does interest me is that there's a bunch of mini games that you can pepper in there too. So you can actually make an arcade. There are things like top-down shooters, shmups, first-person shooters. There's a pirate first-person shooter in this. Haven't played it, but a 4-player pirate first-person shooter. I swear. There's like a 1942 clone, and these were just the ones that I looked as I was testing the game in the 360 to make sure. So, I don't know. This one might be pretty cool. And you don't have to go through the whole process of designing an amusement park to sit down and play the 4-player minigame stuff. So, I don't know. Pretty interesting. We may play this one day just to see what that pirate first-person shooter is like. Ninja Gaiden. In addition to being, one of the, most seminal games on the Xbox, this is the one that also features the original NES trilogy. Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3, all on this disc, unlockable. So that's pretty cool. Crimson Sky, one of the most common games for the Xbox. It's an open world flight simulator, third-person kind of arcadey flight simulator. Not too bad. Halo 2. Here, what are you gonna do? What lot? Like, there's a lot without Halo in it, right? Namco Museum. Time and time again, Namco tends to disappoint me with their compilations. The only ones that were ever good were for the PlayStation 1. And that was a long, long time ago. Big Mother Truckers, now that I think about it, I'm not sure. Was I able to get this to run? There was something weird about this where it was kind of like middle ground. I don't remember this running, though. Maybe I need to get it repaired. Blinks the Time Sweeper. Here's a double game. This was a pack-in. Jet Set Radio Future and Sega GT 2000. All these work, by the way. I tested all these. All these came up and were playable, loaded up right to gameplay. So all these worked. Mustang, Ford Mustang, The Legend Lives, GTA 3, and finally, a game I'd like to know a little bit more about, Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds. All right, so out of the box, we started at $15, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So here's 14 loose games that have been tested and work in an Xbox 360. Okay? So we're already kind of about a dollar game. Do the rest of them work? Well, the next lot here, going a rung down, these were games that would not work on an Xbox 360. We're not backward compatible with an Xbox 360. But putting them into an original Xbox, they worked. Okay, so let's take a look. Shockingly, this worked. Two Towers, Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. You can't see it too bad, but if you look on the other side, look at the middle of the ring there. It's wrecked. You see that? I can see it all the way through here. There's even a crack, believe it or not, in the spindle, and this baby's still booted up and played. Right out of the box. Pretty surprised about that. NASCAR Chase the Cup 2005. Time Splitters 2. Very happy to see this worked, but shocked and appalled that this isn't backward compatible with the Xbox 360. Garbage. What a travesty. What a travesty. Unbelievable. What a great first-person shooter. If you haven't played that, pick it up, for God's sakes. This was actually the first game I saw in this whole lot and got me started on this adventure. I was originally just going to buy the lot, one of these stacks, the stack being the one that had this in, but then, what can I say? I got it over my head. Dragon's Lair 3D, based off of, obviously the old arcade game, but this is a full 3D platformer inspired by the original arcade game. We don't have it. It's made by Ubisoft. Always kind of wanted it. Here was finally an opportunity to get it cheap. Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath. Never been a real fan of Oddworld. This one, though, kind of goes into a first-person, maybe third-person shooter scenario, and I don't know, looks okay. That one looks pretty good. IndyCar Series. Take that back home to the boys at the dock. Advent Rising. This started up, but it was like just this ambiguous cutscene. I just didn't want to. I have no idea what this game's about. It just looked like it was taking too long. I was like, for God's sake, so let's move on. DOA 3, the excellent DOA 3. Play like a charm. Unreal Championship, also played. Although, nobody really wants to play this with an Xbox controller. Conflict Vietnam. This actually started out pretty... I've never played this, but it started you out in almost like a MASH scenario where you're walking around an army encampment, U.S. Army encampment, and you could hear not Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin playing. So because it takes place in the 60s. That kind of looked interesting. I kind of wanted... It said, go to the PX. It was the first thing you had to do was go to the PX. So I'm kind of curious as to... I'd like to go back to walk around that camp sometime. Maybe we'll do that. And then finally, the highly celebrated Chronicles of Riddick. Escape from Butcher Bay. Definitely one of the best, considered one of the best licensed games on the Xbox, probably in history. Not exactly my kind of game. It's like a very dark space prison kind of thing. Pitch Black was not my movie. Vin Diesel is even less my guy, so, you know, but whatever. If it's a good game, it's a good game. How can I judge? So we had 14 of the ones that worked in the Xbox 360. Here's some more that worked, but they were original Xbox only. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25. Okay. So at this point, we're at 25 original Xbox games for $15. Here, I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, did I leave it back in the machine? Yeah, I must have, because there were 2 copies of this. Which was another big reason why I was getting more than one lot, because there were 2 lots that had these 2 in them separately. Each of the 2 lots had one of these. Phantasy Star Online, Episode 1 and 2. An amazing game. A game I've played very, very much in my day. If you're ever curious about how this one plays, you can set the navigator to the Gaming Galleon Planet Ragul on YouTube. Check it out, where we went and visited Ragul and all the adventures within Phantasy Star Online. This is a $60 to $70 game usually. More like a $40 or $50 game on the GameCube. But for some reason, it's almost pennies on the Xbox. And the reason isn't because you can't. The reason is simply one fatal flaw. The GameCube version, you can pop it in and play, have 3 of your friends join you on the couch, and have a 4-player RPG fest. Here, you actually need guild key authorization. This used to be an online game long ago on the Xbox. It has since ceased to be. And so now you still need that authorization on like a memory card or a hard drive that someone may have had years ago in order for this game to play in your machine. Does that make sense? Basically, you need, someone else to let you through the back door. So because that's such a rarity, this is a very cheap disc. Now, there were 2 in this lot, and at the time I didn't realize that, and I thought I would take a chance because Phantasy Star Online is a really great game. To get it for an Xbox would be really neat. I've recently came across a really cheap Xbox for like a couple controllers for $10. Set it up at my parents' house. My dad's been really gung-ho to get this thing on the big screen TV, so I thought, well, we should find some good games for it, and Phantasy Star Online would have been perfect. But unfortunately, that's just not in the cards. So we had one that worked. Okay? I think I left it behind. This one, however, and everything else in my hand, either didn't work when it was put in an Xbox or a 360. How are we doing on time? We're almost done here. Or an original Xbox. So what was my plan with these? Or they were just such bad titles that I wasn't even willing to pop them in the machine. Okay? My plan was with these, take them to a used game store and say, I hate to insult you bringing you loose Xbox games. But I just happened upon these. Give me whatever you can. No hurt feelings. Okay? So that's what I did. I brought these to my buddies before we sailed out to get an estimate on what these games would give us. Put it up against the $15 that we spent, and maybe we got, all these games that we know are working, the 30 or so games we have back here, 25 to 30 games for even less. So let's take a look at the games that weren't even worth my time. Again, sadly, Phantasy Star Online didn't work at all. Original Halo. It's got some discoloration on the disc, so that didn't work. Would have kept it otherwise. It just didn't run. Max Payne. This might work, but I don't know. I just don't need it. Madden 2005. Don't care. Sports game. Mech Assault. One of the most common games on the system. I don't know. Just had no need to keep it. Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, the sequel. Just don't care. NBA 2K3, blah. Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront is pretty valuable on the Xbox. It's still a $15 game or so. This really would have helped us if it was working. And looking in the lot, seeing this, I picked that lot mainly to farm some money out of this guy. But she's so wrecked. She just hasn't been able to run. So, Brother in Arms. Who cares? Ugh. I don't know why some people praise this game. I've never played it. Call me extremely judgmental. Enter the Matrix. I remember this being utterly lambasted by the critics, but I still meet people today who just love it. So I don't know. Project Gotham Racing 2 and Project Gotham Racing 1. Both didn't work. And then finally, NFL Fever 2003. So yeah, I took these to my buddies. I was like, again, guys, I don't like to drop garbage on you. This is kind of show related though. What can we do on these? He took like 3 of them. One of them being Enter the Matrix, of course. And offered me like 86 cents. And I'm like, okay. Okay, that's what I thought. Well, you know, there's a lot of stores in the sea. I may stop by a couple more and drop these off. And I may also try and get Star Wars Battlefront Resurrected. If we can get that fixed, this will be real cherry. But as things stand now, we basically spent $15 to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, here's another college hoops. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 for 15 games, loose. But a lot of them, these are really good titles, in my opinion. You know, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, Dragon's Lair. A lot of this stuff's really common, but still excellent games. DOA 3, Riddick, Brute Force, Prince of Persia, you know, Thrillville, Gaiden. You know, a lot of great games here. And like I said, there's no... My dad has practically no Xbox library, so I'll put these in a book. We'll keep them on the side of the TV. Maybe fool around with these. So there you go. That's it. Take that lot with what you know, take that for what it's worth. Not a bit. I guess at the end of the day, was it 25 for 30 for $15? I don't know what that comes out to. It's less than $1 a game. But that's not saying much with the original Xbox these days. Okay, that's it. Let's get back to, let's do one more race out in Rome. We're going to go reverse this time. And I'm going to tell you about some of the most awesome features of this game that you see in no other racing game. Let's get started. You got the Egyptians there. You got the Amazonians. I don't know who that guy in the... I think he's a Mongol. And then us.
3, 2, 1.
And it's really cool because, you know, I'm not a fan of a Gladius and Shield. You're more of a Morningstar person. You know, switch out Marcus for Valeria. Okay. Oh, this... Woo! Oh, I made a severe tactical error. I meant to play this on hard, which is what I usually play on. I'm so spoiled these days. Every game, you know, every game saves all your progress. But you get into these old, early 2000 games, you know, you gotta change your options every time. So, I'm actually playing this on normal, which isn't gonna mean anything. I think I've got these guys' number. Here's a power up. I got. Oh! I don't know why I thought I could jump that. Oh well. Anybody know how far behind I am? Alright, so let's talk about features. Could I play this game where I'm just the driver and have the AI be the fighter? Yes! Could I just be the fighter and have the AI be the driver? Yes! Could I have a buddy sit down on the couch, he be the driver, and I be the fighter? Yes, yes, yes. And of course, where am I supposed to go here? Am I way off? I think I'm going in circles. Oh no. I may completely botch this race. That's what I get for talking about normal and hard difficulty, huh? We need to worry about the opponents when the track is up against you. Alright, I'm gonna go left. So anyway... Okay, it's that way. I guess. How was I supposed to know that? Darn it. Out of my way. Oh, see, I don't... Oh my gosh. This is a lot more difficult going this way. Oh, I'm way behind. This isn't pretty. So yeah, hands down the best part about this game is you can split screen it. It's an Xbox game. You know, every Xbox game under the sun was 4-player. Split screen. This one was no exception. However... Oh, God. What a comedy of errors. Or a tragedy of errors. It would be you versus... It'd be 2-on-2. So four of you on the couch at the same time, 2 of you driving, and 2 of you playing the fighters. Does that not sound amazing? And you got think about all the things that you have to do in succession for this game. I'm making it... Okay, I almost said I was making it look easy. Forget I said that. But you'll notice, you know, Marcus in the back, he's having to push in order to make those turns. And if you think that's just superficial, you're wrong. You definitely have to shift your weight at the same time that the driver is making those turns. Otherwise, you guys are going to hit a wall. So I can only imagine sitting on a couch with a friend and, you know, being the driver and having to shout to him, lean left or lean right, you know what I'm saying? And he has to be smart enough to raise his shield at the right time because, you know, somebody's bearing down at him, or listen to you at the right time and just take the hit. Oh. I've literally sucked all the suspense out of this because I blew it so badly. Oh. And you know, Rome, this is pretty grandiose stuff. But there's a whole bunch of other countries that you race in. Germania, Alexandria, which is in Egypt. And they even teach you a little bit about these places in what I believe are historically accurate little blurbs. You know, they're not making documentaries here, but you'd certainly walk away like, I didn't know what Alexandria was before I played this game. Apparently it's the breadbasket of Rome. How about that? What does that mean? I don't know. Ask the Xbox. But it is funny, this game... Oh, there we go. Alright, that's it. We're done. Thank you. I'm all there. I'm there all alone. Nobody else is even close to me. Yeah. I can't believe I blew that so bad. But this is an interesting game in the Xbox's library, because when you think the original Xbox, you really think about a lot of attitude. You know, they were really trying to set themselves apart as the bad boy compared to the Sony. It was very, very much akin to the 16-bit wars of Genesis versus the SNES. But I find this game, you know, it's violent, but I think it's a little more on the highbrow end of the Xbox games. And while I haven't played all the way through it, and it for the most part, this is a, well, I don't know about historically accurate, but I'd say for the most part it is. Oh, here it is. No, where did my stupid game go? Oh, it's right here. I think if you play enough, you can unlock other teams. Like there's a German team from Germania. They look very Skyrim-esque. They have like, you know, swirls and tattoos on them. They look like barbarians. There's an Egyptian team. I think we were fighting them. And then it looks like if you play enough, you can actually unlock a Minotaur with a big old axe. So, yeah, not a bad game at all. One day I really do want to sit down with a few other mateys and play this 4-player. Looks like an absolute blast. And I can only imagine the arguments that would arise from, you know, you leaned left when you were supposed to lean right, or you didn't tell me where to lean, or, you know, why didn't you hit that guy, you know, in the side? He cut us off, you know, why didn't you hit him when you had a chance? And it never came again. No sequels for Circus Maximus. Cheap as can be. Pick it up if you're still got an Xbox 360 floating around. It's backward compatible. Highly suggested. Highly recommended. Okay, let's head over to the mailbag. We've got people gaggling about over here in the mess hall. Let's pick a couple choice comments here, and then we'll go over to the mailbag. Dang job. I missed most of the voyage. Sorry about that. That is life. Life sucks. But I'm happy to hear you're working. That's always good. Good for you, Telly from space. Magic Patrick says, I don't know what he's talking about. It looks like he's talking about some sort of... Yeah, I'm not sure what he's talking about. He's talking about some sort of yard sale. Okay. All right, nothing else that crazy. So let's get over to the mailbag, shall we? Okay. Digging deep. All right, this comes from oh boy. This one sounds like it's going to be fun. Autistic Screecher. This comes from Autistic Screecher. He says, "Oi, oi, pirate, do you have autism?" Let me tell you something. Every time I hear someone say, "Do you have autism?" or "You're autistic," or "You sound autistic," this to me is the sign of someone who really doesn't have a vocabulary. This to me is the sign of someone who saw some troll one day call somebody autistic, get some laughs out of it, and then piggybacked onto it. Autistic, 20 years ago, when I was growing up and had to deal with all the jeers of the then trolls, nobody said autistic. Nobody even knew what that was. You're cliche. Do you get it? You're a cliche person. There are 10 million other insults you could say to me. I would shelve autistic. Okay? Its time has come and gone. Once you say it, you're basically dating yourself. and saying, I cannot come up with my own insults. Just so you know. What do we got in here next? Autistic Screecher. Pop your tummy out, big boy. No, that kind of happens on its own. Autistic Screecher, it is it called Touching Kids? That's a fun game, right? Runs a price 30 years to life, though. He must have been watching me talking about a game or something and is equating it to Touching Kids. Again, oh, okay, here's one last one. Autistic Creature, shave that beard, dress nicely, throw away the poopy pirate stuff, get a job, and finally get laid. You don't know me, sir. I assure you, you're wrong about some of these, although the beard thing, I feel like I need to shave eventually. I might have to worry about that. Dress nicely. I doubt you're dressing nicely, sir. You're probably just sitting behind your computer in a bathrobe, which is fine, but, you know, talk about laying down some judgment. The trolls have spoken, and all of us must adhere to it. All right. You got to take the good with the bad with the mailbag. What can I say? I try to give everybody a moment. Maybe I shouldn't, but, you know, what else we got to do, right? All right. That's about it. Oh, Lord. That's all we got for today. It was a quick one, but it was fun. It was really nice to come out to Rome. I suggest you pick up Circus Maximus and stop by Fazoli's for that delicious $5 lunch. It will not do you wrong. As for the Ides of March, I'm not sure how you would really celebrate that. I don't know. But I'm glad we did. Glad we came out to Rome, and I'm glad you came with me. So thanks a lot for coming. We'll see you next time for more adventure, for more mystery, for more laughs, for more autism. And by God, more booty. We'll see you next time, and until then. Oh, one other thing. If you have any cliche insults that you heard from somebody else and decided to use as your own, you can send them to the gaminggalleon@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to send an actual question about video games, piracy, life, or otherwise, you can also send it to gaminggalleon@gmail.com. And if you have something a little more weighty you'd like to send over to the boat, please make sure it's legal. You can send it to the Gaming Galleon, P.O. Box 199254, Indianapolis, Indiana, 49216. Okay, that's it. Sorry about that. We'll see you next time. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know one thing for sure. We'll do it together. So until then, farewell and adieu to ye Spanish maidens. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain, for we received orders for to head to Rome, Italy. And we may never see ye fair ladies again. Oh. Taste that authentic Italian cuisine. Keep your powder dry, meaties.